You may make your biggest mistake with a weed killer before you ever apply a drop to the lawn. It could happen right there in the store if you simply don't buy the right one. But how much different could they be, you may ask? They're just weed killers. Surely they're pretty much the same thing, right? Wrong. I'm about to help you on your quest for the holy grail of herbicides so you don't choose poorly.
He chose poorly.
The first question you've got to ask yourself is, how do I want to apply it to the lawn? Once you've answered that, you can move on to the next step, picking the product. I'm going to be discussing Spectracide's liquid line of post-emergence. I'm not sponsored by them. I have no affiliate links. It's just what I've always used and had awesome results. They're homeowner residential herbicides that I don't think you can go wrong with. If you've ever been in the market for a weed killer, you've probably noticed the different bottle types and colored labels of the Spectracide brand on the shelves. Not gonna lie, it was a bit confusing for me at first, but you don't need to sweat it. I'm about to simplify it for you. There are 3 different ways you can buy their liquid weed killers. We're going to break them down from the most difficult to easiest when it comes to applying, and then we'll discuss what all the different colored labels mean. But the most important thing you have to remember when using any of these is always follow the application instructions. I am by no means giving you a comprehensive guide on how to use them. The concentrate allows you to mix the product with water in your choice of sprayer, like a simple pump tank sprayer, a fancy battery operated one, or a third-party hose end. With concentrate, you have to really pay close attention to the amount of product for your selected sprayer and desired application, whether it be a full lawn treatment or just spot spraying. The amount of weed killer to water ratio will vary. The hose end sprayer is a bottle of concentrate that connects directly to your hose and mixes with water while spraying. You simply open the bottle and spray it across the lawn while walking from one side to the other, almost as if you're watering the grass. The ready-to-use options are the easiest. There's no mixing required at all. That's already done for you. You just point it at the weed and shoot. You can get the AccuShot sprayer, a more traditional style spray nozzle, or a smaller version, a lot like a squirt bottle. I say these are the easiest, but there's one other way to go from a weed infestation to almost weed-free without chemicals. And I've got proof coming up. It just takes a little more time. Now that you know which bottle type suits you best, you just gotta pick the product. And for some reason, the Spectracide stuff is just easier to talk about if we refer to them as the orange, yellow, purple, and white labels. So let's go through each one, starting with the orange. This is my go-to. It kills about any broadleaf and grassy weed you can imagine, along with nutsedge. However, it does not kill Poa annua or clumps of fescue. Only one of them does, and we'll get to that one in a second. Be careful with the orange label though. It is not for use on St. Augustine grass. There are some that are, and we'll get to those too. But the main reason I choose this one is because it contains the active ingredient quinclorac, which kills crabgrass. This next one gives you almost everything the orange label does, except for that last part. Crabgrass control. So if you don't need that, the yellow label may be the right choice for you. And unlike the orange bottle, this one is safe on some St. Augustine, just not the Floritam and bitter blue varieties. If you've got St. Augustine grass and want to play it safe, you should go with the purple bottle. It's safe for all varieties of St. Aug and is labeled for centipede grass as well. But this one's only offered in the hose end sprayer, so the options are limited there. But it's also the only one that has pre-emergent control with the atrazine. Now here's where I need your ears to perk up a little. This is immensely important. All the labels we just talked about are selective herbicides, which means they're safe on grass but not on weeds. This last one we're going to discuss is a non-selective herbicide. It's where you can mess up big time if you're not careful. Non-selective herbicides will kill anything they touch, including your grass. Now, you also need to keep in mind that all these labels we've talked about could damage or kill your desirable plants if too much of the product gets on them. Trust me, I've seen a lawn unintentionally completely killed in spring for no other reason than someone just picking the wrong weed killer that also killed the grass too. You don't want to be that homeowner. It took almost the entire season to get back to anything that remotely resembled a lawn. The white one, well, it's the one you would choose to zap weeds and grasses popping up in your mulch beds, through the cracks in your driveway or sidewalk, or around the patio. It's also the one you would use to kill everything off if you're planning on a complete renovation so you can prepare everything for sod or seed. Oh yeah, remember the green poa annua or clumps of fescue that I mentioned? The white bottle is also the one you would want to use to kill those off, because sometimes you'll see those popping up in your brown dormant lawn and they just stick out like a sore thumb. But you want to make sure you spray those when the Bermuda is still completely dormant, or you might kill some of that too. At the end of the day, you could use none of these at all like I did when I first moved into this house. New construction, lots of mowing, proper watering, some fertilizing, and the weeds just disappeared. Not all of them, but most, which is good enough for me. That's really the secret sauce to an almost weed-free lawn. Appreciate you watching. Hope you'll join us again next time.